Welcome to my YouTube channel. Finally, the smoke is starting to clear and we got some adults in the room. Okay, because what's going on in American politics is crazy, but America stands with Donald Trump and Elon. Okay, and there's a method to the madness, and my black job is actually break it down and explain to you why it makes sense. Because with all the fraudulent and wasteful spending that's being found by Doge, which is the department that Elon Musk heads, they're talking about dividing it up amongst the American people. You're talking about at the end of the investigations, you know, the probability of finding trillions of dollars is actually okay. And with just $1.5 trillion, okay, you can actually spread the wealth. And there was an article that came out last month, okay, and it was in the sense of Forbes magazine. And Forbes magazine put out an article, and this is the part that they want, that the legacy media will not tell you about. This is the part that you know, the Democrats don't want you to know anything about. But Musk sending all Americans $5,000 checks using Doge savings. And if you did not know, Doge's Department of Government of Efficiency. Okay, billionaire Doge head. Okay, Elon Musk said on X, formerly known as Twitter, that he would ask President Trump about a proposal for Doge to divide a Doge dividend that will give taxpayers a refund check of $5,000 funded by the savings from the Department of Government Efficiency. So anybody in their right mind, you know, whether you like the president or not, or even if you care, if you get a $5,000 stimulus check from the federal government, okay, that's a good thing. Okay, because in Black America, a lot of people were basically saying Trump gave money is the reason why they said that it was the reason they didn't vote for Harris. They voted down ballot is because of what you know, Trump gave the stimulus checks. And Congress pretty much went on record and basically said that Congress basically approved the stimulus checks. And with all of these things that's going on, you know, in the politics with checks and balances and things of that nature, okay, it has to be passed Congress, because if you missed the presidential address, he basically, you know, reiterated, and we the people, okay, the Presidential and Congressional Oversite Committee unofficially, you know, when President Trump said no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. And he basically said Congress has to act. And we are in agreement with the president when if the Democrats does not support this bill and legislation and actually get these things passed, because Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader, and Hakeem Jeffries has an opportunity to, you know, become, you know, the front runner for a presidential campaign. But we need him to pretty much understand and work for the American people. When I say for the American people, I mean, instead of Trump deranged syndrome that they all are suffering from, going legacy media, saying F-bombs all over the news media, F Trump and F Elon, and further dividing the country, motivating agitators to do ill will, because the agitators think that if they do something bad, that we're going to appreciate that, but we really don't, you know. So we got to basically calm down the temperature, and our elected officials got to start working for the American people. So when Elon Musk, basically, you can hate him or love him, is mulling the fact of sending all Americans $5,000 checks and using the Doge savings. Think about that. Okay. And Trump said at the presidential address, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. So therefore, we have to press our Congress and lobby our Congress. My black job is to lobby the Congressional Black Caucus to remind them of who they are and how they can work for all American citizens, because we can actually continue and press the line. Because like I said, Trump's approval rate is highest in, you know, all presidential campaigns. The Democratic Party as a whole, of our Congress men and women are actually at an all-time low. I saw one poll as low as 19%. This was at 27%, when the Republicans are trending between 46 and 54%. So this is why I say America stands with the president. Okay. Because like I said, this is America's home, and what we're going through is a stage of reckoning. You know, we got to really figure out the pathway forward, but we have to figure out and get some wins in the midst of the chaos, because the legacy media is not going to tell you anything about, you know, Elon's having a conversation with Trump. And I'm getting this from Forbes. Musk Mall sending all Americans $5,000 using Doge savings. This out of Forbes magazine, one of the most reputable, you know, non-biased money magazines in the world. Now, billionaire Doge head Elon Musk said on X, formerly known as Twitter, that he would ask the president about a proposal for Doge dividend that will give taxpayers a refund check of $5,000 funded by the savings from his Department of Government Efficiency. And what American wouldn't accept that? Now, it has to be bipartisan. It can be a Republican or a Democrat, because I do not want to see a Democrat oppose the federal government to sending a $5,000 stimulus check to every American citizen. That's a good thing. That's what we call a win. Another win: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. So we, the people, have to pretty much separate ourselves and bypass Congress and lobby the American people in the court of public opinion through social media, through the outlets that you're basically viewing this live stream on, and put pressure on our elected officials. Because if our elected officials, if our Democratic elected official does not support no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, as well as the president signing a bill and legislation to send $5,000 to all American citizens based on the frivolous funding and wasteful spending that has been found by Doge. And Doge is talking about that they can basically find approximately $2 trillion. And 1.5 trillion, I did the math, will basically take care of everybody with a $5,000 check. But we don't want to stop right there. You know, we want the no tax on tips. We want the no tax on overtime, and we want the no tax on Social Security as well. And in the sense of all of the tariffs and all the stuff that's going on in the world, you know, we're going to adjust, and it's going to be, you know, a rocky road. But we as America, we're going to basically bypass Congress and do the will of the people. And based on the think tanks that I've been privy to be part of, thanks to, you know, friends on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, pretty much sending me information and intelligence, unclassified documentation, pretty much go directly to the American people and bypass the insanity the Democratic Party is displaying. And one of the things that came up and continue to come up was the Project 2025. I heard about it. I'm sure it's the conservative mandate to save America, but we want to be an addition. We don't want to be a liability. We want to be an asset. And adding to the Project 2025 is pretty much the Accountability Act. Okay. And then I call it the Black Mandate, because there's been, you know, Black issues from a racial perspective on the table since 1964 that we have not addressed up until this point. So based on class, when I say Black, I mean the Black community. And that means for white individuals, pretty much you guys that are in the middle to lower class, which majority of Black people are here in America. So the Accountability Act, we support the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, but we are also adding universal health care for all. Okay, with this great nation, we can provide universal health care for every American citizen. Universal health care for every American citizen. Think about that. It is not cool for a American who does not have medical insurance or the ability to pay, that sits there and has to die, opposed to another individual who has health care and pretty much can use his insurance or his financial backing to support a particular surgery. This is America. And what we're doing, we want to press the line. Since the Trump administration want to say, make America great again, we want to make it great. We want to make it its greatest. And universal health care would actually make it great, meaning health care for all. If you got an issue or an ailment, you go to the doctor, they send the bill to the federal government, and the government take care of the bill. Okay, but we need Congress to act, and this is why I am giving the Congressional Black Caucus, more importantly, Hakeem Jeffries, ideas and opportunities, because Hakeem Jeffries is the minority speaker. He can actually bring these things to a vote, and I guarantee we will get bipartisan support. Because if you did not know, white Americans are by numbers, are the poorest in the country. Okay. Black America is only you could argue about it, 12.5% or 15% of the nation. Okay. White Americans are trending between 64 and 67% of this nation. So when Trump, rallies and all this stuff, you got poor whites that support Trump. So when they talk about we're going to take away Medicaid, we're going to take away SNAP, that is a bald-faced lie. That is a bald lie, because the Democratic Party, by default, has become what we call the opposition party of the Republic. It says to the Republic for which it stands, one nation under God. So we can, and we will. This is why we, the people, are holding our conversations in the court of public opinion. And we want to get this message to our elected officials, because you guys are pretty much an embarrassment. I've been having conversations with lifelong Democrats, and they were pretty upset of the display on the presidential address. It was sad. It was disrespectful. And we're supposed to be better than everybody. When they go low, we go high. We don't lower the bar. It's time for us to step up, have some pride, have some moral, and have some self-respect and dignity moving forward. So, heading to the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, we're going to universal health care for all. Okay. And that's pretty much what it is. And we've been having conversations, because to be the best president in American history. Okay. He wants to be known as George Washington or George Lincoln or Abraham Washington. And the only way that he could do that, if he basically understands and look back in history and fix what was lost and fix what was missed. And this is what I do. We got to have these conversations. This is why I do what I do, because our past will dictate our future. Okay, I can put away some monies for the Freedmen's Bank Bureau, but we'll get into that. But in terms of right tide and helping every American citizen